we really like to work with our friends.
Yeah.
And most people we work with, especially in like the key roles, are just like people that we are friends with in real life, which we think are so talented and just love being around.
I feel like every film set has to be at least 51% summer camp and then 49% film production.
Yeah,
it's true.
It has to be.
Yeah.
I'm Luke Steinfeld.
And I'm Wyatt Sarkissian.
We made the 50/50 podcast to support you on your filmmaking journey.
50% business, 50% creative.
Every Tuesday, a new how-to.
This week, it's AG Squared. That's right, filmmaking duo Andrew Gerstenblatt and Arthur Goldbart are on the show. Or back on the show, should I say. It should be mentioned that not only are these guys our first repeat guests, but they're foundational to the DNA of the 50/50 Festival itself. Our longtime pals discussed their newest short, The Extraordinaries, which not only was a 50/50 selectee, but is a true testament to their creative partnership, friendship, and marriage? Maybe? Are they getting married? Tune in to find out.
Is this your real handwriting? I keep
It
getting
is. It's my
distracted.
notepad.
Wait, so when are we going to talk
I did
about...
some preparation,
Are we
man.
going to talk about Drake soon?
Drake?
Drake.
Yeah, earlier or later in the podcast?
You can talk about Drake.
Drake's
Oh,
and
it's Drake and
Drives.
Driving.
Drake and Driving.
Have you ever done a Drake and Drive?
Yeah.
Drake and Drive?
Drake
No.
and Drive.
I don't know what that is.
No, what is this?
It's just, you know...
Listen to Drake while you
Drake
drive.
Oh, Drake
Oh,
and
yeah,
Drive.
yeah.
You guys
It's
Drake and
kind
Drive.
of close to Drink and Drive, which
Yeah,
is not.
but it's way worse.
Yeah, but it's way more dangerous.
It's a lot more dangerous. There we go. Maybe there we go.
What were you guys doing that on the way here?
We did
Taking
it.
your time?
Yeah, taking
I've
your
already-
time.
yeah.
Can we talk about when you guys got here?
Yeah, I know. We
little
were
late.
late.
Yeah, we were...
Shout out
40
Parker
minutes
Kennedy.
late.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa.
You can cut
Shout
that.
out. No, Parker's great. We can't cut. So
We can't.
this is...
Yeah.
I guess
no
the
editing.
thing with
Great.
visual, you actually
Yeah.
can't cut.
Yeah.
Or you can, but it looks
It
a little
looks
weird.
weird.
really
It looks
weird.
yeah.
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 It's
yeah,
really
great.
weird.
So we
Yeah.
should self-censor ourselves.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
then maybe we shouldn't talk
Yeah.
about Drake then.
Okay.
If you want to talk about Drake,
I mean, I'll let you guys do the interview.
I'm a. Let's not talk about Drake.
Yeah.
You're a big
We
fan
cut that
of
out.
Drake.
Yeah, we cut that
Yeah.
out.
Luke
We
likes
want-
what Drake
we can't-
likes.
We can't cut this.
We
out.
just
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah.
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 Well, I want to first talk about your partnership.
It's a nice segue.
Yeah. And you guys are roommates.
Yeah.
And
True.
BFFs.
Yeah.
True.
And we've had both of you individually on the podcast, and you've obviously
Yeah.
talked about each other.
Yes.
But I want to kind of discuss what your creative partnership looks like through this film, The Extraordinaries, and if you want to just give like a one-liner of what it's about.
Yeah.
For sure.
And then talk about sort of the conception, and we can go from there.
What's it about?
Well, it's about two guys
Uh-huh.
who are on their way to a friend's wedding, and they stop at an antique store to pick up a gift. One of them is British, one of them is American.
Guess which one?
Guess which one? Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And
Comment down below, guys.
Yeah.
yeah. And the British guy gets a phone call. It unexpectedly changes everything, and hijinks ensue,
Yes.
as you could say.
There you
But it's written, directed, and stars the both of us, and it was made from a very real place last year. And we kind of wanted to like return to our roots of doing something very homegrown and very like, you know, all of our friends are the crew, one day, one location, stars the both
Totally.
of us, and like just try to do something fun for us.
I feel like that's what people talk about, right? Like
Yeah.
if we could just do like one
Right.
location one day, but you
Yeah.
actually did it. You know,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like the idealistic thing that a lot of filmmakers who feel like they can't get anything done
Yeah.
dream of doing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you guys did it, which is pretty amazing.
Well, thank you.
And successfully doing that comes across, and we talk about it so much, but of like that calling card short,
Yeah.
which is so important to have.
I think
Yeah.
it was it's fun that you mentioned that, because it's like Arthur and I talk about the things that we want to make all the time, and
Yeah.
like we're very happy that we made The Extraordinaries, because one, we had like so much fun doing it, and it was
Yep.
just like, you know, it wasn't super complicated because we had a great team behind us.
Yeah.
But also it was like we kind of made the movie just for us, so that we had like this time capsule movie that we could like go back to
Totally.
and
It's
experience
like-
us.
And that you're
And
proud of
yeah.
too. Like,
Yeah,
you
we're
should
proud
be
of it.
so proud of
It's
it.
like an alternative reality where like I didn't get a visa and I didn't get sponsored. Like what
Yeah.
could have happened?
Yeah.
And it's like all based on like real conversations we have
Yes.
had just in our living room.
Yes, like literally we
You
had those
feel that.
conversations.
You
Yeah.
feel that. And that, I think a lot of times the best calling cards come from a very personal place.
Yeah.
Totally.
You know, and like it's so funny because it takes time to get there to be able to do that and like go off and write something very personal or real. Because you think you have to like, oh, well, maybe a murder, and then there's a bus, and then
Right.
then a
Anything
plane.
can be in a short. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like
Yeah.
hard to stay true and authentic to who you
Right.
guys are
Yeah.
in your partnership.
But the simplicity of it, and the realness, all of that come together, and just the fact that it's you guys, and naturally you're very funny people, and there's the
clearly
heart
you have
there,
that
too.
chemistry.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
clearly you have that. Even like the dialogue was written, but it felt so natural.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah. Well,
Were
a
you
lot of it
guys
was
were you
improv.
guys messing
I
around?
believe
You
that.
guys-
Yeah, a lot of it's
Yes,
improv.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know, we've lived together for 5 years.
Yeah.
How many
And
shorts have you
so
made together at this point?
Two big
Two big
ones,
ones.
bunch of sketches, and
Yeah.
a ton of like smaller ones.
Yeah.
But we've
in
been
school.
making, like, I wouldn't even try to put a number on it because it's like we've been making little stuff
That's what I mean.
since
like
film
the,
school,
Yeah.
like all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally. And the writing process, what does that look like?
Yeah, writing process, depending on what it is, but
Yeah.
like if we're writing that short, for example, that was really quick. That was just like based on real conversations. We wrote it in like a day,
Wow.
tweaked it a couple times, and then let it be kind of more fluid on set.
Yeah.
But like if we're writing a movie, not like that. We like
plan.
outline for
Yeah.
like a year sometimes.
So you didn't outline this short.
No,
Not
because it was
really. It's just-
8 pages,
yeah.
you know,
Wow.
like very just like natural. We kind of talked about it and knew what we wanted to
Yeah.
put into
Also,
it.
the simplicity of the plot
Yeah.
sort of allows you to not need to actually like order out the plot points
Right.
in the way that
Yeah.
you would
Yes,
with
Right.
a
it
different
just
kind of
felt
show.
like
so
what
short.
would be, you know, you kind of think
Yeah.
sketch brain a little bit, like
Uh-huh.
how can we escalate? What is the progression of this
Totally.
conversation?
And that's just like in you guys at this
Yeah.
point to do that.
Right. And
Yeah.
it's like beginning, middle, end, ABC,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Plot and payoff.
Yeah.
What's the difference of a sketch versus a comedic short film?
It's a good question. I think a comedic short film, at least for us, is set more in reality. The rules are more like true to real life, whereas a sketch you can kind of go off the edges and kind of like anything can happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you do want to escalate in like the craziest, funniest way that you can. But it's like we were talking about this recently, where it's like even if we're kind of playing ourselves in
Yeah.
a short or versus a sketch, it's just like Andrew could die and be dead for 1 second in a sketch and then come back to life the next second
Yeah.
and it would still work.
Yeah.
You don't do that in a comedic.
It depends on like the
Yeah.
world you're setting up.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Is this a world where someone can die and come
Right.
back to life right away?
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know?
And in the short, like we try to stick to the same rules of storytelling as what we would do in a feature.
Yeah.
You know, whereas like sketch anything goes.
As in you're thinking about an arc.
Yes,
characters
thinking about
and
plans,
certain
payoffs,
stories.
and
Yeah.
arcs,
Yeah.
and change and growth, and
Yeah.
like, you know, stuff that's a little more whole.
Yeah,
you know, and
right.
tied up in
like
a
a
bow.
short is kind of
Yeah.
the circle, but a sketch is kind of a
Yeah.
straight line.
But I mean, even hearing that and like, because Extraordinaries is a comedic short film, it's not
Yes.
a sketch,
Right.
And you're thinking feature mind like, we need these plans and these payoffs.
Yeah.
That comes from rewriting.
yes,
Mm-hmm.
I
definitely.
mean, if it's not outlining, it's rewriting.
Yes,
yeah,
for sure.
100%.
Unless you're just so in it that you're like,
No.
we'll plant this here and pay off when
Yeah.
we get to page 8.
Right.
yeah,
right,
no,
like,
it's like
So did you wrote it in a day, but were you rewriting for months? Or was it really just
short?
Yeah.
No, we wrote it in a day, and then like, you know, I think sent it to our producers who gave us like a couple thoughts and notes.
Yeah.
We tweaked it
Yeah.
from there, and that was kind of it. But
kind
then
of-
it changed on the day.
Yeah.
when we,
Ah.
when we were
Allow it to
improv-ing.
be-
How did
not
it
not
change?
plot wise.
No, no,
not
just
plot-wise.
in terms of
dialogue.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think I spoke about this in my first podcast, but it's kind of about like the on-set magic.
Find the funny.
Find the funny.
I
remember that.
And
Come on.
it's kind of just like we wanted the Extraordinaries to be funny, but
Yeah.
we wanted it to be like
Have a lot
wholesome
of
and
heart.
sweet and have a
Yeah.
Yeah.
drama and stakes to
Absolutely.
it too.
And it definitely showed.
And it's like we
Yeah.
definitely focused on that when we were writing the script, and then when we got in there, we were like, well, how do we find the funny more? And so we were improvising different lines and cutting in like it's a whole bit where we do like forget about it.
Yeah,
and
like,
like
that was,
was
like-
all
That was
That
improv?
was yeah,
Yeah.
that was improv,
And-
and that's like a plant and
And then-
payoff that people.
yeah,
like,
yeah.
absolutely.
I was gonna say it
Yeah.
feels very written because it
Yeah.
has that sort of
Yeah.
And
plant payoff.
what really helped is that we shot it quite chronologically.
We did, actually.
Which meant that like we could be
Yes.
improvising in one scene and be like, that's great, and bring that into the
Was that
next.
purposeful?
Yes. Yeah, it was.
Was
And
it
it was
over a day shooting wise, or was it a few days?
Just one.
it was
day.
one day.
Oh.
Yeah, one
Yeah.
day, 12-hour shoot,
Yeah.
and it was like
And
in
that's even
out.
more helpful because
Yeah.
you can
Yeah.
really
So nice.
remember what
Yes,
happened
exactly.
2 hours ago.
And
you
it's
know?
like, like we said, like it was 8 pages, but it was also, we broke it down, like, even though it's one location, we broke it down into 8 scenes.
Yeah.
And like, we're very big fans of this 8 sequence model of storytelling that we learned in school that
Yeah.
we stick to when we're writing features. And we tried to do something similar when we were like writing it, when we were improvising and shooting it, and when we were like literally breaking down like how we were going to shoot the scenes and,
Yeah.
and our shoot day. And it helped us, I think, get into the flow
Yeah.
of the story.
It was because, as Wyatt said, you guys were in a contained space. You were
Yes.
in one space, and of course you were moving through.
Yeah.
Like there was movement. It wasn't like it was just
Right,
you're
right.
both
Yeah.
sitting.
No, yeah. There's
it
like
didn't
different
feel
frames.
stagnant
Yeah.
by any means. Yeah.
But how did you go about thinking about the space, or even finding the
Yeah.
space? And once you found it,
Totally.
how did blocking come into it? Was it on the day?
Well,
Was
yes.
it in writing? Yeah.
Well, when we were writing it, it wasn't an antique store straight away. We were like, we want an interesting
Yeah, we
location.
knew we wanted
Yeah.
to be in a weird
We
place.
knew that it was
Yeah.
about
Did you
like
know you were going to be wearing those costumes?
that too. It's like we
Yeah.
had these ideas where we want to be dressed funny.
Weird.
Yeah.
And we want to be in
In
a
an
cool
interesting
place,
place.
and we know
There's
this is
inherent
what the
humor
story
in that.
is.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
Two people talking about pretty serious things.
Yeah, right.
Of course, it's a
And
clown.
That
Yeah,
was,
it's-
yeah,
yeah,
right.
absolutely.
Yeah.
That's where it
There's so
came
much,
from.
and it's like there's a part where when I get the phone call, it's a really funny ringtone,
Yeah.
and it's like that's not in the script. When we were
Right.
doing sound,
Right.
we were just like,
Can we
I
add
was
the
like,
boing?
Andrew,
Yeah.
what if we put a boing in here? And we were like, hey, fine, and then
Yeah.
we're like,
Yeah,
it's
that's
great, we'll
great.
keep it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we didn't initially know it was going to be an antique store, but then we kind of started putting the story
Yes,
together.
we did.
We're like, maybe we're talking about getting married. What if we're going to a
We're
wedding?
going to a wedding.
Yeah.
Maybe we'd be wearing suits. Oh, funny suits, 70s suits. We love that look. That would be great.
Say we're going to a friend's wedding and we're driving up to some destination in California
Yeah.
from LA.
Right.
Where would we stop in the middle of nowhere?
Yes.
Probably like some strange antique
Maybe
store.
someone forgot to
Yeah.
get a gift,
Yeah.
which
Yeah.
is what
Totally.
we did. And
There-
then the
there's
antique store was perfect.
there's definitely like tonally almost like this sort of textured nostalgic feel to
Yeah.
it due to the antique store, your guys' 70s
Yes.
suits. Like, was that intentional?
Yes.
we often
yeah.
talk about how like we want to make timeless,
Timeless.
movies and
Uh-huh.
stuff.
Uh-huh.
So we want. It's very modern. I have an iPhone. It's
Yes.
like
Yeah.
it
No,
is
you get to
today.
call,
yeah.
But we
But
will
we're
do like that
70s
feeling.
suits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, at an
Yeah.
antique
And the
store that
grain
has all this
too, color-wise.
right,
like,
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's yes, I was gonna like
Yeah.
because we really do talk about that a lot, is like we hope that our movies like theoretically could exist in the 90s
Yeah.
and the 2000s and the 80s
Yeah.
in the 2010s and the 2020s.
Right.
It should feel relatable no matter what.
Yes.
How do you go about doing that? Aside from like, we shouldn't have a phone, but you had a
Yeah.
phone, but it still feels
Yeah.
timeless.
Good question.
I think about
yeah.
the deep end a lot. You made
Yeah.
a great packet.
Yeah. We like it's like short, which we've spoke about on our previous podcast before this, was The Deep End. We wrote it together. Andrew directed it. It's a real kind of story based on Andrew's life.
Yeah.
Set in Rhode Island.
Set in Rhode Island.
And shot on location in
Yeah.
Rhode Island.
And it was kind of like, we put on a ton of different hats each when we were doing that. And we kind
Yeah.
of decided that like maybe I'd be the production designer or something. And
It was a big crew too.
it was
It
like-
was,
all
it was,
flew out,
it was the
right?
same
Well,
amount of people.
yeah.
Oh.
There was more like extras
Yeah.
and
Uh-huh.
stuff in
Right.
different locations.
Larger set.
Right.
But like there
Yeah.
was the same amount of, there might have even been less core crew members than
Oh.
there were on
Yeah.
the Extraordinaries.
Wow.
Yeah.
But I was like, well, let me just put together like a kind of lookbook for costumes, which became more of like a vibe pitch deck.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And it was just like, we're doing water and we're doing kind of post high school and it's vibes, and it's just like we're on the beach and it's
Yeah.
like everybody, if you look at fashion, how like we're wearing the same shit our parents were wearing in like the 80s,
Yeah.
70s, whatever.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
very
But
cyclical.
Yeah,
Actually, if you
Yeah.
look at trends like that,
Yeah.
you can really pinpoint a moment in time which feels like so many different moments in
Yeah.
That's
time.
interesting.
Yeah.
And that was really helpful for us. And it's like kids at parties are always going
Yes.
to be the same.
It's always the same.
Yeah.
Feeling.
That's true.
And like
Yeah.
we tried to make it so that, I mean, there are no cell phones in the deep end.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
also like we tried to make it so that this movie, like if you ask me what year is The Deep End set in, I don't know if I would be able to tell you, because it's like, to me, it could be set in 2002, it could be set in 2019, it could be set in 2024, like it could be set maybe in like the 80s, like I don't know. And I like to think that, like, you know, and you might have different impressions when you watch it, and that's like,
but
for you to decide.
I like the vagueness in terms of time, if it's intentional, and it seems very intentional.
We really like,
and that's what we try to do.
And we really like being Gen Z voices and speaking for our generation.
You guys have called yourselves the voice of your generation.
We're
and
a voice of a
have said that
generation.
too about us, but we also do want like our parents or adults or anyone or people younger than us to be able to watch our stuff and be like, I feel like that could be me. I can see myself in that too.
We want them to laugh and to feel in the same way that people who are our age would be able to laugh and to feel.
Yeah.
So
I love that.
It sounds like the antithesis of that would be like leaning into like lingo that's like cool and hip in this exact moment, or very like timely things. Of like Drake or like this, you know, like whatever it is, right?
Because there's a lot of like Gen Z slang or like internet stuff, like, you know, like we probably wouldn't write that somebody's like chopped in the movie, you know what I mean? Because it'll date it. It'll date it.
And also a parent hearing that, like, wait, what is that?
Right.
Yeah.
But again, follow the funny. If it works and it hits, it's going to be the right thing.
I'm thinking about that.
Yeah.
What's most real.
Yeah. But it's like we want our characters to speak the way that we speak. And if it just feels real and natural to the way that we say stuff, then it's fair to go in.
You guys live together. You're writing together.
Yeah.
It's interesting to hear how much improv happened on set, because in my head I'm like, you do all the improv in your room together.
Right.
You know?
I mean,
well,
that's how it starts. Like the script is improv before it goes to paper, especially with something like The Extraordinaries.
And it's like, but I think it's like the more you plan, the more you'd be able to do improv. Where it's like, okay, you have a crew you can trust with a DP who knows what's up, and like then it's up to you to play. And even in addition to like before we shot the movie, you're talking about blocking a little bit.
We'll go
like
back to the antique store.
The antique store, like we shot the whole movie before we shot the whole movie on our phones, which was very helpful advice we got. In the store, on our phones. We shot
really
all
great.
the shots and the blocking, and
It's
we
a
cut it
benefit of
together.
having one location.
Yeah.
So nice.
how did you do that?
Like
You
that.
set up a time with...
Our DP was traveling, but we went with our producer Amy,
who also found the antique store for us. So it's like when we decided we wanted an antique store, Amy was like completely instrumental in reaching out, looking,
and got the coolest spot.
Yeah, and we were just like, we need somewhere close enough, and it was like West Covina, which was not very far away. And
Sounds so far. It's not.
It's like an hour. It was like an hour drive.
It's
maybe an
like
hour
going
and a
to
half.
Silver Lake.
right,
Exactly.
But Amy like was so good with talking with the owner, and she was like, we were like, can we get in there early? And Amy made such a great connection with her that it was just like, you can just pull up for an hour and walk around,
and we
just do this.
Shot it on our phones, and that was advice that we got from a mentor of Arthur's who shoots a lot of music videos and narrative work, and is like a great cinematographer and director. And we were like, hey, we're going into production on the short, like, how do we block it? We're nervous, whatever. And he was like, just shoot the whole thing on your phones. And we were like, oh yeah. And we went early, and gave us a lot of confidence.
It's like a hack.
Especially when we are directing and acting in it. Because
you don't want to have to care about
we don't want
we
to
planned
figure it
so
out.
much and so well that it meant that we kind of didn't really need to direct on set. We could really focus on acting because we had directed before the shoot started.
And then it gave us the room to play.
And you guys are the only two actors. And so you were able to kind of just like self-direct in a way.
That was like originally in the script we had like an old lady running the store, and then we were just like us.
It's just us. And then we justified it, but it also made more sense to us that it would only be us, because then it gave the antique store sort of like this magical, mythical quality that like...
And nobody was asking, where's the lady running the store? Like nobody is thinking about that.
It became, the antique store became a character in itself.
And like your dynamic is so specific that it felt like you were in your own internal world. You know? And like it is this alternate universe.
And it's like
where nobody else exists.
Shot it very like voyeuristically. And you'll kind of like pick up, maybe we kind of wanted to almost give this vibe where it's like is a story which could take place in like a whole show just about this antique store,
Where
and we're
different
just
people go
one
in
story
there. Yeah.
happening in
That's
this
funny.
place.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And it's like this magic place which like you go in and it kind of makes your wishes come true.
What did that actually like apply to? Like, was that the way you thought about lighting in the store?
Lighting,
or,
definitely.
like the sounds, I guess everything.
Yes. Yeah, everything. But like more just the story of what happens to these characters. Because like I like to believe that this store pops up for you on the drive somewhere. It could be anywhere.
Yeah.
And it pops up for you at the right place at the right time. And it's going to help you find the thing that you're looking for.
Antique stores kind of do that. You kind of
Right,
like you walk
it's
in,
true.
you find the thing you're looking for without,
Yeah.
It's
It's
like
fun.
it's like
cool.
a magical helper.
I mean,
almost.
Yes, exactly.
literally,
But it's a character
Yeah.
in and of itself.
if you
Yeah.
watch the movie, there are some hugely
Huge.
important hero props,
Yeah.
which we found in that antique store.
There you
Crazy.
go.
The
That we
ring,
bought, yeah.
the two like people getting
Yeah.
married, that
Yeah.
little
Not in the
sculpture thing.
script.
It's
Yeah.
not in the script.
Wow.
Yeah.
Those were just in the store, and they
The best.
you would think that we found those
That's
things
another
first, and
reason to
then-
shoot at a location.
But then
Yeah.
we use that to block our thing. We're
Yeah.
like, it'd be funny if Arthur was here and then he moved away and then the marriage thing
Did
was
you
behind
find
that.
that on the iPhone footage
Yes.
day?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
cool.
And then we shot it and we did the zooms and we tried things and then and it just informed everything.
Can you talk about the visual language?
Yeah.
Like the zooms and I mean I've watched your guys' work since the
Yeah,
beginning
right.
for at least of
Well,
like
we were in the
school
same
and
like
stuff.
directing class.
Yeah, we were in the
Yeah.
same directing class. I've seen it up close.
Yeah.
And like to be able to see the visual language kind of grow and evolve with you guys, and I think with this one, which is like I think my favorite visually too, of just like exactly what you're saying, like really playing with blocking,
Right.
and like
Yeah.
moving in a space, and if like you're really like exploring that,
Right.
You know,
I mean, we've-
intentionally.
We've
you know?
never shot anything with this nice of a camera before.
Yeah, we wanted to like we kind of had like a checklist of like what do we want the Extraordinaries to do for us, and it was like make a movie for us, by us, that we would want to see, try to experiment with like a very nice camera, which we had never done before.
Yeah.
And see if, and then the other goal was like getting back into making things, because it was like literally we shot it just over a year after we graduated from USC.
And the deep end was
It was the summer
right?
before our senior year.
Right.
Of
So,
college.
okay, so it had
Yeah.
been a couple years.
Yeah, been a
Yes, it would have
while.
been a second since we'd done a
Yeah.
bigger narrative thing
Yeah.
like that. And so our director of photography, Ian Jackson, was like just so good at like making it look amazing. And like we did go back to the location with him probably like the Friday before we shot over that weekend or something, so that he could take a look and see how he wanted to light it and everything.
Yeah.
And we gave him a lot of references and ideas and things. Like we talked about the store as a character. We talked about that magical, romantic feeling. Like we
Yeah.
wanted it to feel like a love story.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
And
was
so
very clear.
He really just took it and ran with it and tried the zooming thing. And we were like, that looks
Yeah.
great, man.
So it came from just great communication.
Yes.
Of the vision and allowing
was all
him to,
collaborative,
because
yeah.
the camera does glide.
Right.
It's like it's
Right.
these like, which plays into that like kind of mystical.
Yeah, yeah.
That first shot with when
Yeah.
you're slowly
Yeah,
zooming
yeah,
in
yeah.
on you guys entering the store.
Yeah.
That thing too.
That
It's
like
like
establishes everything.
yeah,
Right.
The
and
tone.
another thing, like the first lines you hear in the movie before you even see us is like me asking if we look like Dumb and Dumber,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
that too, like that came in post, because sometimes
ADR.
we have problems where people don't. The tone of our movies can sometimes be very funny and very dramatic. People don't necessarily always know if they're allowed to laugh.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so
And
we
that-
love to like, here is permission,
Yeah.
but even if
This
this
is
is a
supposed to
serious
be
subject
funny.
matter, it's funny and you can
Yeah.
laugh
It's
at
like,
everything.
do we look like Dumb and Dumber? No, man, we look great.
Yeah.
And then we walk in and we're both like,
You double
Yeah,
down on it.
it's a
with
joke in the
with
first
Yeah,
3
yeah,
seconds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we tried
Yeah.
to do that because
Yeah.
it's like the deep end is, it has LOL moments.
Such a
Yeah.
dramatic start.
The
Yeah.
beginning is
Yeah.
like very intense and very cutty and based
Yeah.
on like real life.
Yeah.
And and so we wanted to do the opposite.
Yeah.
We spoke about this, but because I was making my like real first short at the same
Yeah.
time as this, and it ended
Yes.
up being like kind of a similar.
It's very,
project,
yeah.
where it was like that like kind of rom-com, but like
Right.
at least for us, we went out to make a very comedic, at least like comedy forward, and ended up being incredibly dramatic. And like halfway through the shoot, we were just like, I guess we're doing a drama.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. But it's all, and we thought, we were like, well, we'll write something dramatic and real and then just
Yeah.
cast funny people.
Right.
Yeah.
It doesn't work like that.
Yeah.
You know, you're not working with Jonah Hill and
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard. A question that I had earlier is when you guys have such a specific tone and dynamic that
Yeah.
you've created yourself, when you're bringing in other people like a DP, a producer,
Yeah.
what is that process like to kind of like lend your creative voice to them and trust them with your voice?
Yeah, we really like to work with our friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And most people we work with, especially in like the key roles, are just like people that we are friends with in real life, which we think are so talented and
Yeah.
just love being around.
I feel like every film set has to be at least 51% summer camp and then 49% film production.
It's true.
It has
Yeah.
to be.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like
Yeah.
we trust that Ian, if he's coming on with a camera team, even if we don't know the people in his camera team, we know that he knows
head
the
of
vibe,
department, he's doing that.
and that
yeah.
it's like he's gonna bring fun, cool,
Yeah.
awesome people
Yeah.
onto set with him.
Yeah, we
Right?
wanted
Yeah.
because we were directing and acting in it. We were like, we trust our friends. They're great. They know what's up.
You
And
have
they're gonna
to.
do their
Yeah.
You have
jobs.
to- you're
and
doing too
they're
many
gonna do
things.
great.
You have to
Yeah.
be in
Right.
the weeds on everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, we always just like working with our friends, and they're talented, and it is kind of also about
Yeah.
like
fun.
And they trust
Yeah.
us
Yeah.
too. Like
Yeah.
they trust our tone. They trust that if we really like it, then
Yeah.
hopefully it's going to be something good.
yeah, they'll wanna help bring it to life, and it's just a mutual thing.
Yeah.
2 years is not a short time between a project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's a muscle that atrophies.
Yeah.
And not specifically directing or acting
Yeah.
or writing per se,
Right.
Yeah.
but more of like the actual like muscle to do something and be like,
Yeah.
I have an idea, now let's go shoot it.
Yeah.
Can you talk about like, because you guys have large aspirations
Sure.
and you're on your way,
Yeah.
but there is pressure with that
Always.
as
For
you
sure.
need, as you put on yourself.
Yep.
Yep.
How did you go about dealing with pressure and then deciding that this was the story to do?
It was like, well, making the sketches, which, you know,
Yeah.
we were all a part of, and we did
Yeah.
a couple like at the end of 2024,
Yeah.
really helped with like, we can still make stuff, we can still do things, it's possible. But it's almost like this movie came out and we made it at such a time where it's like, it just had to be made. It
Yeah.
had to come out of
couldn't-
us in
yeah.
that moment. There was no other choice.
We couldn't hold
The
it back.
moment you wrote it, you were like, "We're gonna shoot this."
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's like, it is super
was
scary
scary.
to get
Yeah.
back into it.
But while we were doing that, we were also writing like you
Yeah.
know, a couple features, and you know, that's like we were still working creatively. We weren't just like in the film production
Yes,
short film
right.
mode.
Yeah.
We were like writing all the time and doing features and stuff, and like, but at the same time with the pressure is like, that's one of my goals, like trying to make this movie. It was like remove any expectations for like, this film, we're trying to do this with it, we're trying to make this with it. Like with the Extraordinaries, we just wanted to make it so that we could make it, and
Yeah.
that was it.
It was almost like a moment to take, or a, like a safe space of like, there is
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
pressure on this. Everything else has pressure. Like
Kind
the
of like
features.
conversely, like weirdly, what ended up happening is like success from that.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
you know, like we got to screen at 50/50. Like
Yeah.
we won an audience award at NFFTY, which we were so proud of and
amazing.
like very happy. But it came from like us just doing something for us.
it's that thing where it's like, you just have to remember that if you are passionate about the story you're trying to tell, other people will be passionate about it too. Tell the story which you want to tell, not what you think other people want to see.
Yeah.
We like talking about like NFFTY, we had no idea it was even going to get in or anyone would even like
No.
it.
Yeah.
We
No clue.
opened our block and then we won the audience award
All
because, and it's
unexpected.
like we had
Yeah.
no
We had no-
Because
idea
that
was
wasn't
gonna
your goal.
happen.
You know, your
Yeah.
goal was to be like, okay, we have this dynamic and we have to put this forward
Yeah.
because we
Yeah.
wrote this thing that we just need to make.
And,
Yeah.
and
You're
it
like,
felt
we just
like
need to make it.
the
Yeah.
first time that I was able to experience any of my movies as an audience member, you know? And it's like, we always go back to like make movies that you would want to see.
Yeah.
And I'm like being able to watch it. And that was like the greatest gift from the movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was really a special time.
How do you guys write features, do
Yeah.
this short
Yeah.
while also working full-time jobs? Because I know
It's-
you guys
yeah.
work
Don't
full-time
sleep.
jobs
Yeah.
at like that are creative
Yes.
too.
Yes, right.
Within the
Creative.
industry.
Right.
So how do you yeah.
I
What are-
don't
what?
know if we would be able to do it if we didn't literally live
yeah,
together.
Yeah. And we have each other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like because there's no hiding. Like,
Yeah.
I know where he sleeps.
So
like, I can
Yeah.
come into his room and
You
be like,
literally
get
gotta
up,
watch
we gotta
him
write
sleep.
now.
what
Yeah.
you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, I think it took us a second once we started working
Yes.
and everything to be like, we can do stuff outside of work. It's
Yeah,
okay.
totally.
But once we're good at working on specific projects. Once we start something, we're very dedicated to like, we will
Yes.
get this
We're
done.
goal oriented.
And it's
sure.
like, even if we're exhausted after a day of work, we don't want to do it, or we're not feeling it, or whatever. We're doing it together, so at least we're both going to be having a horrible time together,
We're
which
in
just
it.
makes it
Yeah.
better. And
Yeah.
then it's like, there were countless, like the movie we just finished writing.
Yeah. Which we're trying to make next as our first
Yeah.
indie
Okay.
feature.
We had countless nights of like, we know we should be prioritizing sleep, but we're really
have
close
to
to
go.
something, and now we're up until 3 a.m. talking about it, and like,
Yeah.
we have to delete the last 20 pages we did and start again. It's like,
So fun,
it's
though.
only okay
Yeah.
and only works so well because like we are living together and all in it together.
So the lesson here
100%.
is just like live with your writing.
Well, that's helpful, but
Yeah.
I think yes,
helpful.
you have to
helpful.
like,
Yeah.
you have to. I guess there is like you have to push yourself a little bit. You have to take care of yourself, but it's like like we were working like really long days, and like sometimes like technically like my hours end at 7 p.m. for work, but sometimes they go past that depending on what's happening at work, and sometimes I have to be on, and it's like sometimes we wouldn't be able to open final draft until like 11 p.m.
Yeah.
and we would
Yeah.
Did it feel like I'm doing this for me, like we're doing this for us, or was it like here we go?
No, it's always for us. It's
Yeah.
always like
Yeah.
we wouldn't do it if we didn't want
Right.
to do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's like
Yeah.
we did it because it's like we care so much about our movies, obviously our careers, what we want to do. We have big dreams, but it's like like you try to. I have to like anchor myself and be like, I want to make this movie so bad. I want to watch this movie so bad, and it doesn't exist. So I got to go make it. And it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
and also like when work gets intense or when work gets whatever, like it's always like motivating fuel to be like, well, in the future, like it would be great to be a filmmaker, and I like love my job right now.
Yeah.
So I'm in a unique position to be able to try
Yeah.
to do both.
Yeah.
something where we have like full creative power over, and it's like really our thing. And it's like we're both
Yes.
working on such cool stuff too, but it's like it's not our stuff, and it's
Yeah.
like when we're getting to write a movie or make a short or make a sketch,
feels a
whatever,
different thing,
it's
you
just
know?
our brains, our
Yeah.
hearts,
Yes.
our voices being put out in the
You guys
world.
have really found that style. Like, applause to you. You've really it must feel so good.
Thank you, but we're still figuring
Yeah,
it out.
no,
Like,
yeah.
At least to me, I'm like,
Yeah.
that is it. At least the
Yeah.
Extraordinaries feels like such a specific tone.
Right.
Is that so? Like, do you guys want to replicate that tone in
Yeah,
future?
for sure.
It's like
cool.
if the Extraordinaries, even though it's not a proof of concept for the movie we're watching,
it's
it
a
is
different-
in a tone way.
Sure,
If
sure.
you should be able to watch the Extraordinaries and go, I like
I get
that.
it.
I will
Yeah.
like and understand
Yeah,
and get the
that-
movie
you can
they're
see
trying
the
to make.
authorship there.
Yeah.
That's a calling card short.
Yeah,
Yes,
exactly.
right.
Like, that's
exactly.
the
Yeah.
definition.
It's
of
not a
calling card.
proof of
Right.
concept. It's
Yeah.
a calling. It's a
Yeah.
different
It's
thing.
like-
Sometimes they're
yeah.
both
It's
at
a
once.
proof
but-
of
yeah.
us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes, exactly. And
Yes.
it does help that we are in it, and that you
Yeah.
can see our faces.
Yeah.
Because you're like,
whatever.
these are the guys who
Everything.
made
Yeah,
that.
honestly,
How much are you guys talking about your future as a filmmaking
Every
dude?
day.
Yeah, a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
And okay, so what specifically are you talking about, and how like actually like strategic is it? Like, are you guys talking
Yeah.
about like our next thing should be this, and this
Right.
is the goal, and ooh, I would love to do a movie like that. Like, what are the day-to-day
Yeah.
conversations
I mean,
looking
now
like?
we're in producer mode.
Yeah,
And-
we're trying to get this feature
Trying
off.
to
the ground.
figuring out
Mm-hmm.
how to make a movie, and like how do you get money, and who do you talk to, and who's gonna help us, and how is
For
this gonna
sure.
work?
Yeah.
And so we're talking a lot about that, but it's like, we're trying to be smart, we're trying to be strategic, we're
Yes.
trying to use like, you met this person, I met that person, maybe they'll be nice and help us with this and that and whatever.
yeah,
And it's
yeah.
like something like 50-50.
Yeah.
We were just at the festival, we screened, we met so many like
Yeah.
really, really nice people from UTA, CA, whatever, who wanted to speak to us about our work,
Yeah.
and like so
Yeah.
special
Yeah.
to get an opportunity like that. And we're gonna go get drinks with those
Yeah,
people
we have
and
like
start
meetings on the books.
start
Yeah.
becoming
Come on.
friends
And
with
ask them
people
for money.
and I'd be like, can you give us so much money, and like
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of like, I won't sugarcoat it. There's a lot of strategy that goes into
Yeah.
trying to figure out like
I
our next move.
I know that too
Yeah.
from knowing you guys for a bit. I remember you talking about the deep end
Yeah.
of like I think we're gonna do this to like we're doing this to like it's tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then like I think we're thinking about this sketch show.
Right.
Right.
And then you do it, and I think we might be going to shoot a little thing, just us two and like a really nice camera, and like boom.
Yeah,
You
right.
know, like. And I remember also, you're like, I'm thinking about this feature, like
Yeah.
our first one, and I think it's going to be simple, and like we want to be able to do it ourselves.
Yeah.
And like, there it is. You know,
Right.
like you're working on it.
Yeah, I think it's just step by step, and it's doing things that we're so aligned in the stuff that we
Yeah.
want to make, and
Yeah.
we were talking on the way over here of like other ideas of things that we would want to do that really just like if it gets us excited and if it has that gut feeling that we're like, oh yeah, we want to do this, then we're gonna try to do it, you know, and like. Yeah, it takes a while, and sometimes it's like sending emails, and sometimes it's going to film festivals, sometimes it's networking, sometimes it's writing and redeveloping, but it's all for this larger goal of being filmmakers.
Right.
Even just like a little side note, but we talk about this so much of just the importance of actual product.
Yes.
And like being able to go to 50/50 or any festival or any coffee or drinks and say, I'm a filmmaker.
Yeah.
The next question is, I'd love to see something.
Right.
And you say, here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Instead of, well, we're in post right now.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
writing and like
There
you
is,
have
good to have stuff.
the ears
Yeah.
are gonna be turned
Yep.
off.
You
at that
have-
point,
Yeah.
like
that you have
Yeah.
the thing.
I mean, at
Yeah.
this point,
You
we
know?
have like sketches, 2 shorts, 2 written features, pilots, whatever,
Yeah.
all kind of ready to
so I
go.
have what you need. What do you want?
And we can,
Yeah.
we can share that, and
Yeah.
that's helpful.
Which is at our level, we see this and hear this from the industry side.
Yeah.
When they talk to our age kids,
Yeah.
what do they want to do? I don't know what they want to do.
Right.
And it's like to be able to speak to guys like you,
Yeah.
for them, it's like, oh my God, they actually know what they want to do,
Right.
and they have proof to like back it up.
And it's cool to get to have known you guys now for a couple
Right.
of years, and
Yeah.
like I've known you at different points,
Right.
you know, where you're just doing sketches or
Yeah.
just kind of ideating, and now you guys like have this thing, so it's
Yeah.
very exciting.
Andrew brought a good point earlier where it is like, yes, you got to be thinking about your future and strategy and everything, but it's like, it is so, we've realized that it's so important in this period of our lives, but it's like, oh, you have to remember like mental health, physical health,
Yeah,
all
you
of
have to
these
take care of
things
yourself.
are like incredibly important. And it's like, you're not going to be getting your best work done if you're like
Pushing yourself and forcing
really
yourself
hurting
to do
yourself.
it.
And yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
it's, nice to kind of remember that I've noticed, if you spoke to me 2 years ago, post-graduation, I would be like, we gotta be fucking famous tomorrow.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
now, 2 years down the line, I'm like, I like that this is happening naturally and gradually,
Yeah.
and it's because of
Yeah.
only because of hard work and what we put in, we get back. And it's not like, hey yo, here's
It's a great
your big
point.
feature and $1 million right
Totally,
now.
yeah.
It's like, if
You
we
can't
if
jump into
me
it
and
too
Andrew had to
fast.
make a feature last year, we would have died.
Yeah, we wouldn't be able to do this podcast because
Yeah.
at our
Yeah,
we
funeral.
would, yeah,
Yeah.
we,
So much
we made
money you
a
have learned
asylum.
about.
Yeah.
We would
Yeah.
be getting
Yeah.
1 year memories from
Yeah.
your funeral.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like,
A year ago today.
Yeah.
No, we wouldn't have been ready.
Yeah.
We wouldn't
Ourself.
have
and
been.
it's like,
You're great.
we're like 24.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
found out in November that I'm allergic to like gluten. I'm 24 years
we're
old.
figuring it
I
out.
just
Yeah.
found that
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, you gotta figure out like how you are as a human
Totally.
being
Yes.
before you can really throw
Yeah,
yourself
and
into
to me, it's like I feel
everything.
like for me that day to day is. It's just the type of person I am, freaking myself the hell out. Like
Yes.
I am constantly like, oh, I need to be doing that. But
Yeah.
then
And yeah, we get
it
that.
is for the mental health.
Right.
It is very important to have those moments where I'm like, I'm 25 years old.
Yeah.
I should I'm doing fine for where other people are at. Like I'm
Right,
like,
right, right.
it's okay.
Yeah.
And I should be proud of
Yeah,
it.
you have
Yeah,
to be
100%.
grateful for things like we are living and working in Los Angeles. We
Yeah.
have jobs in the industry that we really care about and we really
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
And we've gotten to do great things. Like at work, we're fortunate enough to do stuff outside of work and see our friends and have like, a nice time with that. So and also the work that we're doing outside of work, our own personal careers, like if it isn't fun, then we shouldn't be doing it. It's
Yeah.
supposed to be
Yeah,
fun.
because you
always.
need that for
Yeah.
your
That's the
well-being.
fun. That's the
Yes.
fun
Yeah.
bit.
Absolutely.
But it's okay if it's not always fun.
No, it can be stressful. You have to you have to go into the woods and
right,
figure it
but
out.
it's important to remember the origin of it was.
We've had
just
like
not all
thinking that
sunshine
even
and
was-
even with the Extraordinaries, it's like I was stung by a bee the day before we
gosh.
shot,
Yeah.
and I was like
You
talking to
did.
Andrew like. I
don't know if
don't
I can
think
do
we're
it.
gonna be able to do a story. And Andrew's like, what are you fucking talking about?
He got
It's like,
stung by a
it's
bee on his
fine.
finger.
Yeah. And then it's like getting in there and it's like you shoot it and for a day you're like completely like disassociating.
Completely,
And then
yeah.
we're in post. I'm like having to talk to Andrew like we can't be acting like this. It's like we can't be so deep and dark about this process or else we're
Yeah.
just gonna hate it.
Yeah.
Like we have to remember
Yeah.
that we're having fun too. And
Do
it's
you
like,
guys like egg each other on in that? Like, do you?
well, we're both like
exacerbate-
huge hypochondriacs
We are,
who stress and have
Yeah,
anxiety.
We're
and
stressed out
like,
people
yeah,
for
I-
sure.
I-
And so
Very
yes,
much
there
so,
have definitely been moments where we're like sitting around being like, this movie sucks and this is terrible. But we also are like, this is the greatest thing anyone's ever made. Right?
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Right?
Two things can
Yeah.
be true at once.
You know?
3 in the morning.
And it's
like,
like-
It's only healthy.
We laugh because every single
Every time.
time we finish a draft of a screenplay, we're
like,
like,
it's
this is
genius.
amazing. No one
Yeah.
could ever change us. No notes.
And then at
we,
what point are you like?
The
a
next
week
day.
later or
Okay,
like
yeah,
a
for
day
sure.
later, we're like, oh, this
We
was
gotta rewrite
fucking
it.
completely
Yeah.
wrong.
But, and it's like we've had a million breakthroughs with our new feature.
Yeah.
Where it was like, yep, this is the way. But Arthur and I think we're really lucky in that we both have the same intuition where we can like sort of smell when something's wrong
Yeah.
and know that we have to fix it, and then somehow we'll come up with an idea and then we go, that's
Yeah,
it.
and it's hard work. It's like
It takes a
it
long
would be
time.
way easier if like we smell bullshit and we just like push it under the rug
Yeah.
and just kept going forward. But instead, we
You have
have
to.
real hard conversations
Yeah.
about this isn't working and
Yeah.
how the fuck do we fix it?
And that might mean rewriting your whole feature.
Yeah, and
you
that
know?
might mean staying up until 5 a.m. and not writing anything and just sitting and like bashing our heads against
To
each
try to
other
figure out.
until
Do it.
something
Yeah.
comes.
But
and
But
then
it
you
always
take
does.
a nice walk the next morning.
Yeah.
Get a big breakfast.
Yeah,
Take care of
exactly.
yourself. I
Oh,
think
yeah.
that's because you need the balance.
You have to.
You know,
Yeah.
it's like, yes, it's amazing to
grind
to grind,
crazy.
Yeah.
and,
Yeah.
and it's so important,
Right.
Because you will not, if you're not obsessed, you're not gonna.
It feels
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
It feels
Yeah.
good.
It's
Yeah,
like
you
we
have to
know
be-
at this point too from like writing 2 movies, but
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
we can't write a movie in a week. We
Yeah.
outline for months, we write it for months, we
Yeah, it's
rewrite
like-
it for months, and it's like
We
that's
talk
what
about
the
it a lot.
process is.
Yeah.
It's a very regular
Sometimes
thing.
Yeah.
writing is like going out to dinner, like just like
Yeah.
a little date,
Yeah, we
with
go
just
on a
the two of
little
us,
date and,
we
like-
order food and we talk and we figure it out, and then we come back to it feeling refreshed, but with also like more like actionable, valuable insights on the story,
Totally.
on
Yeah.
the script and the characters that we can use to write, and that counts as writing.
I mean, it's so valuable to have someone to be able to bounce ideas
Yes.
off.
Yeah.
You know,
Living in your
especially-
house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. No,
literally
yes,
living in
exactly.
your house.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
helpful. And like I look at some of my favorite filmmakers, like I love Wes Anderson movies.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't write those alone, you know. He
No,
always has
Roman
writing
and-
partners,
and-
exactly.
yeah.
And Owen Wilson and whatever.
yeah.
Yep.
And it's like, I get it, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what it's all
Totally.
about.
Yeah.
Makes it more fun.
Yeah.
We're lucky.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
grateful, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I can only write with other people
Yeah.
to some
Yeah.
extent. I mean, I can like conceive of ideas,
Yeah.
and, or I'm better at actually conceiving of ideas with other
Yeah.
Right.
people, and then I can write individually.
Yeah,
but
for sure.
sometimes, but the collaborative process
Right.
is so essential,
I mean, it's-
especially in this
Yeah.
business
Yeah.
and at our age. It's
So
like you
nice.
just need, especially if you're working full time,
Right.
you need someone else's energy. Like
Yeah.
you need to like just like seep energy from someone and
Yes.
give like
Yeah.
you need that
We
energy
kind of-
exchange.
It's like we have our first audience built in with each other.
Yeah.
And it's like even if like I'm working on write my own script for something, it always goes to Andrew first.
Yes.
Yeah.
The first one to look at, the first one to give me notes, and it's
Mhm.
just like, you know, I think there's a lot of value in like, you know, if you don't have something like this, writing writers groups and stuff like that and whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Yeah.
I just find it a lot more comfortable when there's someone I completely trust
Yeah.
looking at my art, because it's like shit is so vulnerable.
It's very vulnerable.
Yeah.
And like I'm going to, of course, tell Arthur the truth.
Yeah,
But I'll also
right.
I know what kinds of things he's trying to go for and
Yeah.
what his writing sensibilities and characters are like. And so that I know I'm like, this is working. This
Yeah.
is really working,
Yeah.
man. And
Yeah.
and like, you know, I'll
see
give
that.
it to him straight. You
Yeah.
know, but
It's
I know.
good at this point. It's like yes, we're always trying to be as nice to each other as possible, but it's like we can just be like, this doesn't work.
Yeah,
and we don't have to worry about
the
like
shorthand.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
that's very
I mean,
helpful.
jumping back to set, like being on set with Extraordinaries, and like you guys you wrote the thing, you were acting in it, and you also were directing it.
Yeah.
Were you like really digging into like being on set doing that? And for the folks listening who want to do the same thing,
Right.
Like, how, of course you did all the prep, but like actually on the day, are you watching playback a bunch? Are you looking to your DP? Are you looking to, you have a producer on set that's helping you? Like,
Yes. Well,
or is it really just after a take, you look at each other and say, what do you think?
it's a combination of all of those things.
Yeah.
Like sometimes we watched a little bit of playback, but like because we only had one day and one location, it was like we only wanted to do it to check it out. If we felt like we really needed to look at it.
Yeah.
But it's like otherwise, like our producers were there to help us, to help guide us, and like be honest with us about like this thing that I know you guys are going for is not coming across yet. So now do this, and I'm like, thank you for that.
Yeah. It's like if it's we're doing a comedy and no one is laughing behind the camera and stuff, and you're like, probably something wrong.
But it's like you say cut and everybody cracks up because they're holding it in. We're like, let's move on.
I was about to ask that because I think it's so important, to prepare so that you can have that magic on the day of, which we've talked about, that magic in the moment. How in tune are you with your crew, and are you trying to make them laugh? Like that's something that
always.
When I've acted in the past, I've been like, if I can get someone to break like that's like the goal. I don't care if it gets in the final cut. I'm just like, I need to hear laughter.
Right. We're really good at not breaking, and so it is always like, well, if one of us breaks, we know we've got something great going here.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's like we love both The Bear and we love Severance, but like I like how on The Bear it's like they do 3 takes each. They don't have the time, they just get it done, and it's like you just trust it. And it's like, I don't know, I feel like we're kind of directing each other, and it's like if I feel like Andrew feels like I got it, and I feel like he's got it, and we both feel like we're happy with the performance we gave, and it's been 1 or 2 or 3 takes, then we can just go.
And it's like, because we're so trusting of our crew too, like we can turn to our DP and be like, we got it, and he's like, we got it, and then we can feel confident.
Best feeling in the world.
And it's
best feeling in the world.
Like I think it takes a while to learn that trust too. Like that's not just something where we're like, we're super trusting people.
Right.
Like no, we did like 4 years of film school where we had to like learn to expand our crew, to build it out, so that we have, like we said, like we have friends who are involved, who know what we're going for, and we all share the same vision. So we can confidently be like, yes, we can move on. If our DP, if our producer, if our AD says we can move on.
And I'm sure there's like a ton of people who have been on the pod, who are listening to the pod, who people our age can relate to being the only kind of filmed kid in high school,
doing
and being
it all
the only one doing it all themselves. It takes a long time to learn how to trust other people, and feel like other people have good ideas too, and whatever. But it's like the fact that me and Andrew didn't have to worry about the framing of a shot on this shot, like,
oh my god,
was so
thrilled.
Such a sigh of relief.
Yeah, it was great.
How did you actually do that? Was it just, did you storyboard? Did you have
because we shot it.
I know you did the iPhone, but like,
I mean,
were you really like
we checked
going
playback
through different like
for the first shot, and be like, okay, this is right, but then we'd let it be.
We did more takes of like the opening shot more than any other one, because that one was like, we're doing it in one shot, we're not cutting here, needs to be good.
Also, we're trying to warm up as actors.
It was the beginning of the day. It was like 8 a.m,
and we haven't really acted properly in a long time.
We're in these suits where we can't move around.
You're feeling a little stiff.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's like they're putting like powder on Andrew's face because he's so shiny and oily and sweating so much. And I have to have like so much gel in my head.
No, you guys
just isn't moving.
You look completely normal, but you look
in a good way though. In like a
and then I'd hear whispers on set where it's like, Andrew's shiny again, Andrew's shiny. And I'd be like, I'm not shiny.
I can hear you.
It's like our DP's like, bro, like, you're shining.
You're shining.
To the camera, like you know, like you're about.
You're hard to. It's too bright.
And I'm sweating. It's hot in there. It's the summer. It was like the first. It was like early.
It's
summer.
West Covina.
It was like the desert. You know.
You should say it was like way hotter in there than it was.
Yeah, it was like 200 degrees in there.
It was humid and it was.
But it's even like, I don't think I had been laved up ever before that moment.
You had a laugh, yeah.
And it's like, so you're like, there's something on my leg and I don't know what it is.
We
And
had
it's
to
just
cord
like,
our
on the leg.
our sound, our production sound mixer was like the lav was like rigged up to like our collar, our bow ties or something hidden in a really clever way, and then the string went all the way down, like under our shirt, down our leg, and then like the actual like receiver was on. I don't know, transmitter or receiver.
Is that because you're in a tuxedo? And
it was the best way.
You couldn't have it
do
on the belt or something?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Who did your sound?
Bryce Stevens. Yeah.
Is that a USC buddy?
Yeah. We met Bryce at USC through, I think I was like on another set.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
They were friends also with some other friends of ours, and they were in like a band.
Oh yeah, Bryce was in a band with
our friend Cassidy, and we went to their like one show ever, and like we kind of helped film it, and I like got the crowd warmed up for them, and it was just like
it was just one of those college things.
And then we were like, well, we need a sound person,
and we knew Bryce was like an expert. So we hit them up.
That's great.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Well, it's so cool seeing you guys sort of develop and really begin to establish your comedic voices and everything. And this is the part of the podcast that you guys know about, where we ask you the age-old question. And I'm curious, when we can do it, either individually or like some sort of shared thing.
Maybe we do both.
Well, ask the question, and then we'll conference.
Yeah.
So what is the dream for you guys?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we can do separate. We can do together. Like I don't know. Speak from our heart.
Separate and then together.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's like my dream in my life is to be a filmmaker, and it's to be known as a filmmaker. And I want to be able to live my life, whether that's making money, how I schedule my life by making films, whether that's in pre-production, writing stuff, then directing something, then editing something, then writing something, then directing something, then editing something, and being able to live and work in Los Angeles and also do that on the East Coast as well, to make movies that I've always seen in my head growing up, and to continue working with my best friends, from USC. Obviously Arthur, but like I knew when I met those people and when I started working with these people that we made the Extraordinaries with, I was like, forever. We have to work with each other forever, and that's what I want. And it's like, my dream is to just keep making films. I want to be a feature film director with movies that are shown in theaters. I want to make coming of age films, comedy dramas, I want to make films in Rhode Island. I want to make films in Los Angeles. And I want to make people, I think this is the biggest dream. So you can cut all the other stuff out.
Or not, we don't cut.
Exactly. But I think
one long take.
The ultimate goal is to make movies that people quote lines from.
We haven't heard that. That's cool.
I like that.
Yeah. Just make a shit ton of money.
Yeah, for sure.
No, I'm kidding. No, I want to.
How much?
Just like $2.
Okay.
$2 per movie would be great.
Yeah, nice.
No, I want it like it's obviously same shit, and like, and it's like
Same
we
shit.
always talk about that like quotable, relatable, like timeless type thing. But it's like, I don't know, like my hero is someone like Judd Apatow, where it's like, I want to not let the comedy genre die.
Yeah.
Like, it is so important to me that there is someone out there championing comedy as a genre, comedic talent. It's my favorite thing. It's all I watch. It's all I take in. There are so many brilliant people out there whose careers I feel like should be 100 times bigger. And it's like, if I can be the kind of person who can write for them, direct for them, bring myself with all of these great people like up all together, then like my dreams would come true.
Yeah.
And it's just like, yeah, like I want comedy back in the theater yesterday.
Yeah.
I want like my generation to have an Austin Powers. I want my generation to have like all of these
Superbad,
big studio comedies
that everybody quotes,
to
that
come
everybody knows.
back,
Yeah.
because it's like we just need that.
I
We
wanna-
need to laugh together.
And Arthur and
it's
I-
like,
We always shared that
Yeah.
like vision, like even like our first week when we met each other at USC, it was like, imagine that Arthur and I got to make a movie that some 13-year-old kid saw for the first time at summer camp, and then it became their favorite movie forever.
yeah. And I always like, I say this
amazing.
a lot in like my like bio and stuff. It's like I want to make stuff which is like as stupid as it is smart.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's just very important to me that we don't, as a society, like lose stupid ass movies.
Yeah.
I love that, man.
Yeah.
And I think with filmmakers like you both, like comedy's in good hands.
Yeah.
Like I do wholeheartedly believe that like comedy's really coming back in an amazing way.
It is. And there's big studio comedies coming up.
Yeah.
I mean, look at like The Naked Gun that came out pretty recently. Like that was something
new
we
Fockers
loved.
movie coming
Exactly,
out.
yeah.
And then on the indie side, you have like Nirvana, the band, and you have like all of these great
Which
things.
did
like
real numbers.
It did.
Yeah.
And like we loved it, and we were so inspired by it. And like we talk about this all the time, and part of like what I think is in some of the stuff we really tried to infuse in that feature that we're trying to make is blending the sensibilities of indie comedy with high concept studio comedies.
And it's like
the broad appeal, but also some of the more character driven heart.
We want to make stuff which like our generation, like the movie which we're trying to make is about that moment in time which we're all in now, where it's like you're a year or two out of college, you have your first job ever, and you're like surrounded by people 10 years older than you, older sometimes, and it's like you don't feel like you're supposed to be there. This doesn't make any sense. You're just a kid still, but it's time to be an adult.
It's a very specific
and we just
time,
feel like when we were putting our pitch deck together and writing this, we just didn't find like a lot of movies at all that have focused on this specific moment in time. And we're just like, well, can we do the Superbad, do what Superbad was for high school, what like Booksmart is, what like Diary of a Wimpy Kid is for middle school, for us in this moment in time. And so something that like Gen Z who are entering the workforce can see and be like, that's me.
The coming of age movie for somebody who's 23 years old.
Right.
That's what we really want.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, you guys have been such great guests and so supportive of Luke.
Thank you for having
us.
us.
Well, no, I mean, it's like, we're so proud of you guys and what this has become, and it's like
we've literally been
when we
50-50.
met like years ago before the festival was. He came to us and he was like, "I have this idea for a thing. Like, would you guys send in a movie?" And we were like, "You're gonna
these guys are like the origin
a film festival where like comedy can be focused on," and it's like that meant everything to us, and it always has, and it's like so awesome how much it's grown, and like Brain Dead is like where it was always meant to be, and to see that,
so cool, and like
unbelievable.
The films that we keep seeing year after year get like the level, the quality is insane, the humor is insane. Like, I don't know, it's really special to see. You guys have the podcast. You guys are doing a lot.
Which again, we listen to every single week,
every day,
a week. After we finish Drake and driving, on 50-50 and driving.
A lot of people speed up the podcast, but you guys slow it down.
Slow it down. I want to hear your voice.
Listen to this shit slow.
We're really happy that 50-50 is growing, and we're really happy to be a part of the community.
We're just trying to keep up with you guys, We're just, the festival just tries to grow with the filmmakers. So that's the goal.
Chill with the glazing, bro.
Yeah, man.
Whoa, chill with the glazing.
It's great with it. And we get his fake talk, because this will be when we have like
the logo.
Yeah, exactly. This is when all the ads
this
are
is like the
our many ads.
So we can stop being nice to each other now.
Did you learn something? I'm like your mom. Did you learn something in this episode? I hope so. Or not. That's okay. Thanks for hanging. Make sure you follow us at the 50/50 Fest on Instagram. And give us 5 stars, because why not? Why not? Subscribe. Why not? Why not? Okay, bye.